So yeah, it's looking like that we are going to be seeing Joe with Set. His teammate is Fox as Ra, and last teammate Shelty as Odin. Whereas for the opposing team, that's HerroOP as Loki, Ert Zeus, oh well, that's a good switch, and iCaro Oranos. A lot of different gods from the last games, and that's what we like to see. That the games are not really all that same, all that much. The Zeus is definitely a pretty strong choice, and it will be making a whole lot of difference, especially if he spawned in the pocket. That will be pretty nasty. So Earth is green, and yeah, just as we said, he is spawning in the pocket, and that's truly nasty, especially considering that Earth was proving himself a very strong player last game around. And man, this is going to be very tough for the opponents to actually deal with. In the meantime, we are looking at Great Hunt. A lot of goats from that, of course. Some extra piggy, but a ton of goatees for him. So we should be looking at husband reasonably soon, and it's almost looking like the Shelty will be attempting something similar as he did with Thor for the second town center. But I wouldn't really be all that sure, because this map is not really all that nice for booming, and it's much better for being all around aggressive, just reading your opponent if you have the option. Shelty is though in the pocket, so he definitely has a choice where to go. So it's not all that ideal. It would be slightly better if maybe Fox was in the pocket or Joe. Yet again, but Joe is going to be having an outing at the bottom against iCaro, and that's going to be nice to see. Well, under the back, decent gold positions. Even though they are front ones, they are not really far away from Fox, so he should be able to somehow manage them. As we have Oranos, we are also seeing positioning of the TCs, and they don't really look half bad, especially considering the cliff at the top. Could actually be making a lot of difference in here. That might be useful for both of the players, both him and HerroOP on the left. His front TC does have pretty nice bonus because it is capturing also this gold. This gold could be considered captured for Fox because of the TC and the cliff as well, but I don't really think so all that much. It is much more direct, of course, because it is closer, which means that HerroOP's position is much better and is going to be, yeah, not really all that bad for the later game. Cheaper villages, cool relic, as we are looking at a lot of berries behind the bases and extra goals, of course, with going to be solitary one. If I had to guess, there's going to be one in the darkness, so that's just a duo. Just sucky as well. And I would be wrong. So yep, Earth was guessing this correctly, and he is exactly going on the money with the villages, and that's where he's going to be gathering his food from now on. Villages on the wood, on the gold, as he's sending the rest on probably the food at the back, I'll be thinking. Now he's going to be continuing with the food, and he's sending yet another one on the wood, so this is almost looking like that he's going to be coming for centaurs, as he wants a lot of oh man, he wants a lot of wood in there. But you can see what is exactly happening. That's Shelty. He making a back build right behind iCaro, and iCaro is probably not going to be noticing this. You can see this is just behind the line of sight. There is a darkness. This is a fog of war. This part of the pit of darkness, and he's not going to be moving in there anytime soon because the hunt is in here. And if he's gonna move, because of the forest about this line, and that's behind the line of sight. So yeah, this is going to be a surprise. He just needs to take care that he doesn't actually give up his position through the ravens. Because if iCaro noticed them, he might be thinking that the temple is really here, because there's no way that the ravens could be moving from about here to this position in less than at least half a minute. Even minute. It's really far away, and they are not really all that fast. So yeah, this is a bit of a giveaway if iCaro is paying attention, but he probably is not going to be making any kind of connection like that, and that means that this build is going to be pretty much safe. And oh man, is this going to be a superb surprise to the opponents, especially with right now Joe getting ready to wall himself up, and he already is getting animals right on the opponent. Right now calling will rush. And on what is he actually calling it? Fast advance or some such? Let's check. It might be that he's actually calling it on fast upgrade. And he was just right now looking also at Fox to have a look around, and that's really a pretty gutsy call, but of course he's going to be probably right. Or is he actually him wanting to build rush with his allies? That kind of doesn't make sense. Fox is there. So yeah, he definitely has seen that. And it might be because of the whole lot of gold that he's gathering. And that means that he needs, of course, gold for stealing the town center that he's going to be killing. And yeah, right now, here we go, with I Am Joe shifting his villages with the rain being cast by Fox. And that, of course, means that there's not going to be any kind of ceasefire from Hermes. And oh well, this is kind of interesting, because we are looking at Set shifting the villages, not Ra, because Ra can have skin of the rhino to make the villages better. So this is really kind of unusual, and I'm kind of thinking that he wanted to shift as well, but probably a bit later, because he's going for rain and he's going to be shifting a bit later. I'm thinking because he will have a lot of gold for potentially stealing something more and make his presence count, but so far it doesn't seem so, as this is inevitably down. But of course it wasn't fast enough, as iCaro is already in the classical age. And that's a pretty good help, because he right now can continue living. He doesn't really need all that much because he's Atlantean, which means that his villages are kinda okay without any kind of town center. But of course his economy is going to be stumped. But at the same time, yet again, he's Atlantean, and it's the early echo is kinda ridiculous, which means that even with the few villages he can still be pretty strong, and this kind of attack from the opponents is always quite taxing on the early economy, and that means that he's not going to be all that far behind as he otherwise might have been. But it's back build and was really textbook by Shelty. So the TC is going to be stolen, and with it a lot of goats. That's another thing that you mustn't underestimate. That's like 10 goats at least, maybe even more, just looking at it per eye. That's a lot of food. That's a whole lot of food, like more than 1,000. That's like 1,500 food. That's a pretty nice bonus and pretty huge malus to the opponent. So Joe at 2 TCs, Caro of course at 0. He's going to be soon gathering something from other town centers. And if he was an Atlantean, I would be actually quite happy about it to tell you about a small little thing that not many of you might actually know. And that is that actually you can use your allies town centers for gathering resources. So if you ever are in a situation like this, and you are not Atlantean, so you need some buildings that actually need some buildings to deposit your resources, you can quite easily just get resources with the villages and then garrison the units, the villages inside the TC of your ally, and it will add the resources to your count. So yeah, that's something that you can use. So iCaro right now asking for a pause, as we are going to be looking around how's it looking in the bases of the opponents and even allies. And looking like that there's a bit of luck right now. But of course Shelty playing it safe, as he just isn't walled up at all, and he needs to be close to his town center. But since he is right now nicely set up right at the top, I'm kind of thinking that he might be wanting to take a TC from his opponent as well. So let's see about that. In the meantime, HerroOP trying to help, as he is going for a bit of raiding with the troll, but much more importantly using a few harassers, and goes for the raiding of especially Shelty, I'm thinking, because as I said just a few seconds earlier, he doesn't have any kind of defense. And well, I'm Joe, he is nicely protected, but he will have to go out of his shell reasonably soon, as this gold is not going to be lasting forever. Nice scouting by Caro, but of course not really mattering all that much, as Shelty is down with a lot of Usars, and he's going for the standard raiding with the Odin, and of course this part of the map is reasonably secure for them. Right now he's just getting rid of the manor, so that his opponent has to spend extra resources, but much more importantly, so that he gets some free favor. And this is already coming up from iCaro, and he's halfway there, and it's looking like that Shelty is not going to be noticing fast enough. So yeah, we are going to be back to a pretty much normal game. So let's see how the team first in the scoreboard is going to be dealing with the rest of the game. Of course, pretty nice raiding right now by HerroOP. Somehow he switched from going through bottom into the top. Kinda interesting, but he's at least forcing Fox off the goal, which is very important. But he doesn't know that Fox does have very safe gold at the back. And if he can somehow secure the town center in the front, if he's going with Pharaoh to empower, it's going to be pretty easy to get rid of the troll. They are not really in much of a trouble. And this is going to be the problem right now for Shelty and his teammates. So of course reading is going to be rampant from HerroOP, as I'm thinking that Ert is going to be pretty much fine to defend himself, but he still needs to be careful as he was attempting to take a TC for himself, but he wasn't really all that ready. And yeah, this is going to be pretty good forest fire because it kills... Oh man, this is gonna kill the temple as well. Oh, that sucks. That sucks big time for Ert actually. That sucks very big time, and the house is going to be just a collateral. Town center probably going to be coming up unless something unusual happens, and Shelty is going for a second TC already. So they are right now going to be occupying enemy territory, and I'm just waiting right now for iCaro to get back fully into the game because he does have the town center and should be helping his teammates reasonably soon. He already is, and is also through the remaining tower, at least the last one, but I don't really think that was just such a wise investment. Because quite literally, without murder holes, it's going to be very easy to take down for the units. And even though he does have some kind of turmas, it's going to be taking just a few slingers from his teammate, and yep, they're going to be reasonably safe, and goodbye this. In the meantime, Fox going for a bit of raiding, as he's already in the heroic age. Azura. But unfortunately, he didn't kill like anything. Okay, so as we have seen pretty good locals last games around, we haven't seen that much effective one this time, and that means that it kinda was wasted, but still it results in strangled gold economy for the opponents, and that definitely does count. Ert right now saying that they shouldn't be fighting in here. Well, they definitely shouldn't, as iCaro is just now finishing away the rest of the buildings. And well, Ert is right now going to be helping his teammate, but I'm not really all that sure that he needs that all that much, as of course this army is going to be getting a bit tricky, and with Shelty coming into medium Wolfsarks already, with a Wanderer of course, this might be a pretty strong duo to go into offensive, and of course, he is attempting some kind of attack right about now. See at the back already finished, and already just thinking that flaming weapons on Shelty and it's going to be it. I'm not really thinking so, because I'm not sure if he fully realizes that he's already having second TC in the front. Joe is going to be having third TC as well, and probably some heroic ages are going to be coming up. So far just pickaxes. And really, it's not like Shelty needs the base echo all that much. Not all that much, but HerroOP really is going to be important for the next game, because if he can somehow corral Fox, who is right now helping with the attack, he definitely could be helping his teammates quite a lot, because I'm fairly certain that Ert is still in a pretty nice game. He hasn't really been hurt all that much, he has just been delayed at TC a bit, but this is a pretty big problem right now for Fox, as he needs to get rid of the boars, and of course he needs all the army back in his own base. He cannot really afford to send anything back to the battlefield like at all. He's losing the Migdol, which is the only one that he has so far, if I see things correctly. I do. And that means that he's losing everything right now. Because without Migdol, and you could have seen he didn't even have enough resources. Let's check into 4. Yeah. He doesn't have gold. He doesn't have enough gold even for another Migdol. And man, that's a pretty huge problem. And somehow underestimated. So was maybe Fox sending resources a bit earlier? Not really. Yeah, he was sending about 360. That shouldn't really kill your economy all that much. We are looking at a bit of raiding of Shelty in there. But of course, Shelty is taking a 30C already and going to be advancing into the heroic age. But the threat from HerroOP is right now very big. Very big, and it's going to be raised 4 times, because HerroOP is probably going to be killing his opponents at the top. Fox is not really well off, like at all. He right now cannot build any kind of army. He's having just an idle cambyses in here and waiting for the gold to get another Migdol up, and he's maybe going to be attempting a town center for himself, which is definitely a good idea, because it will help him secure at least another gold mine in there. So full-on attack from HerroOP into Shelty, probably going to be resulting into flaming weapons, as we have been saying a bit earlier. With the towers coming up, he might not even need that, because there's literally 0 army, and those dudes, oh well, they are gonna get absolutely killed, which will result in about 16 villages dead, and that's a pretty huge blow to Shelty. And even though he is set up on the left, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna set him back quite a lot, but let's see how much, because Shelty is coming back with the whole army. But without Heresiers, he's having pretty big problems with the battle boars. Yeah, battle boars on the TC, and all the extra units get rid of the economy, and then continue getting rid of the army, of course. But I would be liking actually the boars to use their special attack on the Lusarks. Just give them one hit on the Lusarks. They are just gonna throw them all around, making them not attack, and then go back to the TC. That would be quite efficient for them. Yeah, I'm not really sure who is lagging. It's not showing anybody for me, but let's move back to the top where Fox is finally taking second DC and using the opportunity that he is not the one under attack to go back into the battle and potentially even stop Hero OP from getting gold in the front. And that might be useful for him because there is no gold at the back. Oh, Mythic gonna be coming up. There is no gold at the back. There is one gold mine that is going to be contested by him and Ert. And this could be a win condition right about now for Fox with Joe and Shelty. Because if their opponents run out of gold, some reasonable close-ish time, soonish time, well, they are definitely having better options and map control for themselves, having gold for a lot longer. So Fox has built a town center, Shelty has lost the one, Joe has built another TC. So Joe is right now at 4, and of course, even though the army from Hero OP is right now retreating back, there is exactly the radiant on the gold as you're expecting from Fox, and that means that he is quite safely finishing with the front TC himself. He should be having enough resources right now from Migdol. So army from Fox will be coming up reasonably soon, but probably if Hero OP switches into his side fast enough before the army is even up, he still might be dealing enough damage for them. Enough damage to actually make a difference and yet again put Fox into a pretty terrible situation. Joe is right now occupying the healing spring with a lot of slingers, which basically means that iCaro is not defending anymore and he's going for full on radiant with like a million of turmas. Going to be killing some villagers in here to Joe. Unfortunately wasn't paying enough attention to where the purple army is going, but I don't really think it matters all that much. He's at 4 TCs, he can just get them back reasonably soon. Well, they're coming up, or what is it? No, it's Hell. Okay, it's going to be Hell with the Dragon Nidhogg. Exactly what I was talking about. And here OP is seeing the opportunity for himself, but he unfortunately doesn't see that his own front TC is gonna be taken pretty soon. There's probably going to be TC for TC, and maybe not even that, especially with Pharaoh is going to be in place sometime soon. Probably not all that true even with the priests. But second Migdol should be secure in this situation. Mercenaries coming into the game, which should result in a very good fight for him, and yeah, pretty bad fight for Hero OP. Well, in the meantime, nicely built hill for Shelty, who is already through a Scuddy a bit earlier. And we have pretty big problems right now coming for Ert, who is not ready all that much for this kind of onslaught, especially combined with Joe, who is going for Ancestors. Fully into Joe's, or rather fully into iCaro's base, who is just having 1 TC, and this is basically his whole economy, so he couldn't afford to fight against all those ancestors, which meant that ceasefire needs to be called. That's a bit of a luck, of course, for them, or luck side effect, that Hero OP can transport all his villages to the back gold, and yet again, this really might be the win condition. It's just looking like that, because this is literally the last gold. Just curious if maybe there is one hidden in the darkness that isn't scouted. Be seen after the game, I'm thinking. And oh man, is Shelty trying to steal the town center? Ah, yes, he is. Most definitely is. Come on. He almost having the resources, but he was probably already clicked in. So yeah, you don't see that as an observer, but he was probably already spending the resources, and that means that the TC should be his reasonably soon, as there's absolutely no idea from his opponents that something like this is happening. And oh well, that's a problem, and there is no goal. As for us, Fox is just scouting in there. Oh man, enjoy and enjoy the Hera Storm. right to top of it. Well, that was a clutch advance into Mythical Age. So, Fox has right now lost absolutely everything right in this battle, but it is well worth it, because Ert had to use a very important god power that basically that can deal with the whole army of your opponents, and right now they are not going to be having that kind of advantage in any kind of important fight, like for example this one, and this should be big problem for them. Villages also fighting all their lives, of course, right now, because this push is very strong, with Fox losing the town center, of course, because of the boars and the final giants, and yep, pretty big problems coming his way, because he has just lost a full army through the shifting sands of the gold. It was a good idea, but unfortunately he couldn't have counted with the lightning storm coming from Earth just there. But Fox is already preparing for the onslaught of fine giants, so they shouldn't be that big of a problem, and we also see that Shelty is at 60 seats through the back TC in there, because he has been able to still keep his town centers on the left, and well, right now he's going for full-on raiding on here. And yeah, they are right now going to be resigning, because they are expecting that Shelty will be sooner rather than later coming for Ragnarok, and we are not even going to be seeing it from here, so let's just check if Balder was in one of the 60 Cs. No, he wasn't yet, but it was just a question of time, and really, it was all about the backgold in the end, and that's exactly what decided this match. So this was very nice game from the very start with the Billy Rush, and of course the very nice side build by Shelty, and they were able to actually see it through, even though they had pretty serious problems because HerroOP is very strong and was making life very difficult for Fox, and then of course for Shelty. But really, he almost curb stomped Fox right there, with him killing the Migdol, and Fox at the same time not having nearby enough resources to build another Migdol. So basically he wasn't making any kind of army for like a minute, and that's exactly the power spike that ISIS needs. Enter as well, of course. Any kind of Egyptian, really. Well, nice game, and congratulations then to the team composed of Fox, Joe, and Shelty, as they are winning the show match 2-1 against team of HerroOP+iCaro, Emo, and then Ert. So good job. A very nice game. So let's check the post game for Shelty. Well, he had all those many TCs, so he's going to be winning. And HerroOP just 40 civilians. Well, it's interestingly low number, to be honest, for a Norse. At 70 minutes, considering he wasn't raided all that much. Curious. But it was up until the end, it was really working for him. It was a pretty big pain, his opponents. And basically the sole reason why they were still being kept alive after the early push. Not many researches across the players, to be honest. Well, GG, and I hope that you enjoyed this show match. That was the last game for it, and I definitely hope that JC Spartan, who was hosting this show match for $45, that's a nice amount for our community, enjoyed the games as well in the end, as we were able to make them work even through some not really minor problems along the way, but definitely I liked all the games. All three of them were quite different and all supplied very nice performances, especially game 3 and 2 with Earth in the games. These were some very good high level team games. So yeah, GG.